Have you ever shared something small and watched it change someone's life forever? This story proves that what you give always finds its way back to you in the most magical way possible. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a young boy named Arif. His family didn't have much, just enough to survive each day. But even in those humble moments, Arif had something most people forget to keep: a heart full of kindness. Every morning, Arif walked to school carrying a small lunchbox that his mother lovingly packed for him. It usually had just one piece of bread and a few bites of fruit. Simple, but enough for a growing boy. One sunny afternoon, as he walked back home after school, he noticed an old man sitting by the roadside. The man looked tired, weak, and hungry. His clothes were torn, and his face carried the lines of struggle and pain. Arif stopped for a moment. Something in his heart told him to go closer. He gently asked, "Grandfather, are you okay?" The old man looked up, smiled faintly, and whispered, "I'm just a little hungry, my son, but I'll be fine." Arif looked down at his lunchbox. He had only one small piece of bread left. He hesitated. He was hungry too, and it was all he had to eat until dinner. For a moment, his stomach growled louder than his thoughts. But then he looked again at the old man's trembling hands and kind eyes. Something inside him shifted. Without another word, Arif smiled and held out his lunchbox. "Here, grandfather, please take this." The old man stared in disbelief. Tears welled up in his eyes. He took the bread slowly, his hands shaking. "May God bless you, child," the old man whispered. "You've given me more than food today. You've given me hope." Arif simply nodded, smiled, and walked away, feeling lighter than ever before. A few days later, something unexpected happened. Arif's father, who had been looking for work for months, was suddenly called for a job interview at a nearby company. When he arrived, he met the manager, a kind gentleman who, as it turned out, was the old man's son. The man had heard the story of Arif's selfless act from his father and was deeply moved. Without hesitation, he offered Arif's father a job. That one small act of sharing, a piece of bread, had returned to them as a blessing beyond measure. It was as if the universe itself had smiled back at the boy's kindness. From that day on, Arif and his family never forgot the lesson that life had taught them. What you give never truly leaves you. It always finds its way back, often multiplied in ways you can't imagine. That is the magical power of sharing. So the next time you have the chance to help someone, do it. Share a smile, a kind word, a moment of care, or even a small piece of bread.